My name is Tim Weber, and I am the co-founder of Diverso Energy. We are a geothermal full-service utility company where we design, build, own geothermal assets, primarily in the multi-residential space. I think like everyone in this space, we're not immune to that downturn. However, we are in a bit of a unique position because 3-4 years ago, our technology represented maybe 1 or 2% of the market. And what's happened during that downturn, the need for geothermal, the demand has gone up exponentially because of things like the Toronto Green Standards, CMHC preferred financing that requires a fuel shift from fossil fuel to electricity. So the demand has gone up so much, it's sort of offset the reduction in project starts. So we're actually busier now than we were 3 years ago. That's a great question that comes up a lot. And I think, our technology as a tech is really quite simple. It's plastic pipe, dirt, water, ground. That's what makes it so resilient and so beneficial. I think the enhancements in technology is really more about the process. Our ability to work with clients and integrate geothermal in a more cost-effective way, reduce the impact on their schedule, mitigate their risk. And I think it's that refining that process is really where we've enhanced the technology, not so much in the technology itself. And it's hard to predict as the industry has changed so much in the last decade, and I've seen so many changes and it's evolved so much. I think it's less about where I predict it's going, it's more about where it needs to go. Historically, geothermal was adopted by kind of a fringe group of progressive developers. Now it's being adopted by the mainstream development community. As the industry's kind of moved from a carrot to a stick, they really don't have a choice but to adopt geothermal, which means as an industry, we need to become more mainstream because we're being utilized by mainstream developers. So it's just a shift in thinking that needs to take place, not to mention growth, obviously. My partners and I always considered as a future problem, and that problem is today. Fortunately for us, we were acquired about 2 years ago by a company called Diff Capital Partners out of the Netherlands, a very well capitalized infrastructure fund. And as a result of that, we've been able to scale up in advance of the growth. So we've in-housed everything. All our construction is in-house. We own all of our own drill rigs. And because of their financial and human resources that we have access to, we're able to scale up and continue to scale to meet the needs of the industry. I think it really comes down to two things. Number one is just experience. We've been around longer than virtually everyone else in the industry. We've been doing this long before it was popular. So us and our clients are able to leverage and take advantage of all the things we've learned over the last 2 decades. And that's really formed how we've evolved as a company, and how we do business now is very different than even 3 or 4 years ago as a result of those learnings. So I think experience, proof of concept, we're able to mitigate that risk because we're able to leverage past projects. And then I think the second one is really what I was referring to earlier, our ability to scale. The fact that we're the only company that's fully vertically integrated. Our engineering is in-house, our construction is in-house, our capital is in-house, everything is in-house, legal is in-house. So that creates a more seamless experience for the client. So I think leveraging the experience plus our access to resources just makes for a better experience for the client and differentiates us in the industry.